I don't know if other colleagues have any other questions, but on C-11, the government last night passed several amendments, I think dozens actually, that were not made publicly available before the committee approved those amendments. Did the NDP support those amendments that were not made public in advance, and why?
Our position on C-11, and I think it's a really important question around how we approach social media. Right now, social media is governed by billionaire tech companies. The algorithm, the choice of what gets seen, what doesn't get seen, is made by those that own the company. So Mark Zuckerberg chooses what gets seen in your feed, what messages get promoted, what algorithm is used to promote some messages or content and to not promote other content. And we have heard very clearly from whistleblowers at Facebook that they incentivize, promote, and use algorithms to make divisive, hateful messages and content more prevalent on the platform because it increases engagement. Why would we let social media billionaire companies use their own algorithms that promote hateful messages because they can make more money off of it, they can have more engagement, rather than allow Canadians to have a say in what content is put out, what content is promoted, what content receives greater emphasis? I certainly would rather Canadians have a say, that we have a democratic input into what content is promoted, rather than allowing these social media companies, which have been proven to be promoting hateful messages, allowing misinformation to divide people, and in fact, allow people to get radicalized online. They have no accountability in terms of making sure those messages aren't promoted, that they're removed, that divisive and radicalizing messages aren't put on the platform. And so I would far prefer Canadians to have a say on that.
But I asked about the secrecy of the fact that the amendments were not made public. Why did the NDP support passing amendments in secret?
And so we absolutely believe that Canadians should have a say about what content is promoted. And we do not believe we should allow that to remain in the hands of billionaire companies and billionaire social media companies that only seek to make profit, even if it means divisive messages get promoted.
Hey there, Sarah Ritchie with the Canadian Press. Just one more try on that same question because you didn't answer it. Why did the NDP allow those amendments to get put forward in the committee? Why weren't they put forward before the whole House?
So again, our position is really clear. On C-11, what we want to have happen is that Canadians should have a say in what content is promoted. We don't want social media companies and billionaires to be using their platform to promote divisive, hateful rhetoric, which we know radicalizes Canadians, radicalizes people, and has caused harm to Canadians. We would far rather that decisions around what gets promoted have Canadian input, that we have laws that we are able to actually determine what content is promoted. And we don't want to leave that into the hands of Mark Zuckerberg. We don't want to leave that in the hands of these social media giants that don't have Canadians' interests at heart. And right now, what's going on when you open up your social media platforms, the content that you see is a direct result of these billionaires that choose what they want to see, what they want people to see. It's their choice. I would far rather it be your choice, be Canadians' choice. We have legislation that allows us to decide what is seen, rather than allowing billionaire companies to make that determination.
The main thing I want you to pay attention to is how Jagmeet is avoiding all responsibility on the issue of supporting secret backdoor amendments. Somewhat like the backdoor deal to form a majority government when the Canadian voters elected a minority Liberal government through the electoral process. With this power, they are now pushing through bills with secret amendments that can greatly affect the data and information that we receive under the guise that they are suppressing hate. We want Canadians to have a say in what is happening online. What we don't want is for the government to have too much power and too much influence on what we can say, see, and do online, as there is an incredible conflict of interest politically. There needs to be a redistribution of power from these large tech giants, but not to the government, but to the people. If we want Canadians to have a say in what is in their data feeds, then we need to force big tech companies to make their algorithms open source for public display. Not just open source solely to the Canadian government as Jagmeet is suggesting. They should not be secret. Exactly how the amendments made to Bill C-11 by the NDP Liberal Coalition should be open to all for public consumption and not passed in secret behind closed doors. Give power back to the people and let's make Canada for Canadians again. Sincerely yours, just another human being.